Leica! Leica knows to make cameras, and now Leica D-LUX 8, a brand new camera with a revolutionary technology in it and with an iconic design. As an owner and long-term user of Leica X100 Mark II, let's talk about Leica D-LUX right now. Hi there, Tudor Matescu here. In this video I want to address the Leica cameras. I'm really loving Leica, I'm really loving it. And I've used X100 Mark II, the alternative of Leica D-LUX 7 for a long term. But I've sold it in the end, and I'll tell you why I've sold it, and I'll share with you my thoughts about this revolutionary camera from Leica. But let's be clear on one thing, when I'm saying revolutionary camera, I am really joking. Look at this Leica D-LUX 8, it's looking so good. So Leica is writing on their website that this is an iconic design. And yes, we are able to see that we have the design from the Leica Q2 and Q3. And this is nice. This is really nice, and it's a design. I can't say it's not a design. I can't say I'm not liking the camera, because yes, I'm liking it. And I'm liking the design more than what I was able to see regarding the S9 design. The S9 design, it looks cheap, This looks good, X100VI looks good, and so on. So yes, the design is fine. Next, how I've said, I've used X100 Mark for a long period of time, and the X100 Mark II is an alternative to Leica D-LUX 7. But I want to address the build quality. Some users on the forums, I can't address this fact myself, but other users that had X100 Mark II and Leica D-LUX 7 said that the Leica D-LUX 7 has better build quality. So the build quality of the Leica cameras is better. Also, I've looked at the pictures and they were different somehow from the X100 Mark II. And I'm saying this to you because I want to get an idea of the image quality. Some users complain that we still have a micro four thirds sensor in 2024. From my point of view, this is not a problem. A micro four thirds sensor is still a good sensor if you know how to use a raw file from a micro four thirds sensor. I've used, how I've said, for a long time the X100 Mark II, and I was able to get very good pictures with X100 Mark II JPEGs and raw files, and I'll show you those pictures. But what I didn't like about the X100 Mark II, it was that it had many buttons and many wheels and dials. Initially I thought that this is very good, but on the long term I didn't like it because the camera was too small, and being too small I was bumping the dials, I was bumping the wheels, and all those dials and wheels were acquiring dust. So it was a really problem to take care of the camera. Now it's clear that I've made a joke when I said that this has revolutionary technology in it. It doesn't have a revolutionary technology in it. It's clear that we have, it seems, the same old micro four thirds sensor, probably a little better, who knows? But definitely it's a refurbished D-LUX 7 or Lumix X100 packed with a new design. It's clear business move for making money from Leica. But what I want to see here is good build quality, better than X100 Mark II. I want to see an OLED viewfinder, and I want to see that the camera is weather resistant and dust sealed. If they manage to do this, I think we have a very good successor of the Leica D-LUX or of the X100. Because from my point of view, you can't ask for more when we are talking about micro four thirds sensor. This is the cap of the micro four thirds sensors. They didn't invest in making better micro four thirds sensors, and if you want more, you can go to the Leica Q, Leica Q2, Leica Q3 or other cameras. So I think Leica is not doing here such a bad move like Lumix did with the S9. At least we have here a real camera. And I applaud that they've took out some buttons and wheels, because X100 and the D-LUX had too many buttons and wheels. It wasn't usable. I was clicking on them by mistake. I needed to disable some of them, and this was a good thing that I was able to disable some of the wheels. But overall the design is looking very practical for what this camera is. So this is a very pocketable camera, more pocketable than X100V and almost as pocketable as Ricoh GR, almost. So Personally, I'm regretting that I've sold my LX100. I'm really regretting it. I've sold it to buy my real Leica M. But regarding what that camera did, I am between LX100, Ricoh GR and X100VI. These I feel are the best portable and pocketable cameras that you can get out there. Personally, I'm not at all bothered by the fact that the Leica D-LUX, it's a micro four thirds sensor. I've always praised the micro four thirds sensor. The system is good. The user have problems because they don't know how to use a RAW file from a micro four thirds sensor. To get the best out of a RAW file from a micro four thirds sensor, you must use Capture One and DxO Lab or Nick Silver for black and white editing. I was able to get, and I'm showing pictures with LX100 and why not with GX9 micro four thirds sensors. I had no problems in getting very good images in printing and on the big screen that I can't say which one is which, and also with Olympus cameras. So because I know to use a micro four thirds sensor and I know to get the best out of it, and I'm able to get very good image quality from a micro four thirds sensor. I still have my GX9 and my Olympus micro four thirds cameras. I don't have any problems. The Leica D-LUX, it's a micro four thirds sensor. And I think this is very good for Leica because they are giving a vote to the micro four thirds sensor, making a Leica D-LUX, but they don't make the sensor from what I know. So the problem is not Leica. The problem is that we don't have R&D in micro four thirds sensors that will help us get even better image quality, so more dynamic range and less noise. But it's very interesting what they will do with the software, because now we have the next software improvement and we will get DNG RAW files on Leica D-LUX, and those DNG files on Ricoh and also on Leica are crazy good in Adobe Lightroom. And now Adobe Lightroom is even better than it was a few years ago, also with the micro four thirds files. So use Adobe Lightroom, use DNG and use DxO Labs and Nick Silver, and you can't tell in general what sensor the photographer used. So if you know photography, you will be able to get very good pictures with Leica D-LUX. Now, why I'm not so upset about the fact that Leica used the old sensor and they didn't put an APS-C sensor. First of all, they needed to design a new lens, and to design a new APS-C lens so small, I don't think if it's possible too soon. You really need a bright aperture for low light photography and IBIS. And a micro four thirds sensor, it's great for IBIS, and a lens like this, it's helping keep the size small, and you have a very bright lens. This lens is very usable for Leica Q2 shots at 24mm equivalent. You get the Leica Q3. You really get it with this lens. You really get it. And I'm showing pictures with that bite. Personally, I'm really loving the lens of the Leica. I'm really loving it. Next, you have IBIS, you have flash, and the flash is very good. I did a review about LX100, and also I did a review about all these three cameras. I will link those videos in the cards and at the end of this video to see my full real review about these cameras. So the Leica D-LUX, the Leica LX100 and this new camera are capable camera. I didn't sold my LX100 because I didn't like it. The only thing that I could say I didn't like about the LX100 was the slow power zoom. So I hope they will put here a better power zoom. And the faster power zoom, it would be ideal to have a manual focusing zoom, so I could focus it using my hands and not a dial or a power wheel. You have an advantage with the power wheel because you have a parfocal zoom, so you can use it very well in small clips. So talking about a camera great for social media, I'm very curious what they will do with the video on this camera. I've used LX100 for video, great videos. Also, I was able to shoot RAW and JPEGs in video, so I'm a big fan of LX100. This is why I can't criticize Leica D-LUX, because basically we will get a nice design. The price seems okay for what it is, and it has the Leica brand. The lens is extraordinary, you have IBIS, and we really must see what they did with the viewfinder and with weather sealing. It's a step forward, but of course it's not extraordinary step forward. It's not a leap, it's not not a jump. It's a small step forward, but it's a step forward. And the price, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. In the end, it's a Leica camera. It has better build quality, I hope, than LX100. And if they will make the camera weather sealed, dust sealed, and with a good viewfinder OLED, and with a faster power zoom, and with fewer buttons, so with a cleaner design that it's inviting the user to take pictures, why not? And also I've praised and I'm liking very much this switch of aspect ratio. This is a great switch because it helps you commit to a specific aspect ratio. And the micro four thirds sensor, it's great to be shooted in the square form, so you can shoot like Vivian Maier. I'm a big fan of this design. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm liking that I'm not seeing a crazy price for what this camera is, a Leica in the end. The lens has the Leica look and the Leica bite. Again, long-term user of the lens. I really do think that this is a great camera to be put out there, and the price, I think it's decent for a Leica camera. But if you want to see my full review of the Leica LX100 or of the Leica LX100 versus Ricoh GR3X and X100V and XF10, please check now the videos that are appearing on the screen. In these videos, I talked about the everyday carry camera and what I feel is the best camera to take it with you and the most portable. And Leica D-LUX 8, it's a real contender. Till you wait to see the final specs and we will see what the camera it will really do in real world photography and videography, please check my next videos right now.